Thanks for tuning in to the Urban School Podcast. Today I will be covering the Oklahoma LSU women's basketball game that happened the other night. Very good game, a very exciting game, tight game, very strategic game that seems like it'll prepare both teams for the NCAA tournament and also their conference tournaments as well. Both teams being in the SEC, it will be very interesting to see if these teams play again. It was very tight contest. Like I said, it was very physical contest. Now, LSU is seen as a more finesse team, but Oklahoma, I didn't realize how physical Oklahoma was as a team. Two players got ejected in the first quarter, early in the first quarter at that, Leah Scott and Samaya Smith, which I didn't think it warranted an ejection, maybe a flagrant, maybe technical fouls on both and offset and just gave them a warning. I think it was unfortunate that they got kicked out of the game, and I think they'll miss next games as well, which hurt both teams prospectively. But nevertheless, it was a very good game. Like I said, it was a physical game. Reagan Beers was a problem all night for Anissa Mora and Aaliyah Del Rosario. She frustrated them a lot during the game because she was, like I said, she was a big body, very physical. She had post moves as well and could score, so she just wasn't like an enforcer or anything. She was kind of skillful as well. But I seen her irritate players all night, and it kind of made you kind of cringe because you didn't think if there were going to be more ejections. Because, like I said, when play is that physical, referees want to get the game under control. And I felt at some point the referees were going to get the game under control and try to, probably throw some more people out because Reagan Beers at one point was in the post with Del Rosario, and it got real physical, and they went to the monitors, but I think they ended up only giving her like a foul, a common foul, or maybe a tech, but they didn't kick her out the game. But nevertheless, Michaela Williams in this game for LSU, she really balled out. She had 37 points and 7 3-pointers in this game. I wasn't really familiar with her game. It looks like she's only a sophomore, but she was pulling up from three. She was shooting jump shots. She was going to the basket, going to the free throw line. She did it in a myriad of ways and was very successful and pulled LSU out of a tough situation because most of the game they were struggling trying to catch up. It just wasn't going right for the rest of the players. Like Flau'jae was kind of struggling all night. She did make some big defensive plays and was able to get some key steals towards the end of the game to kind of save the game and put the bow on the game. But Michaela Williams was a star in this game. And it's going to be interesting to see her in the tournament, only being a sophomore, but she's going to be asked to do a lot because she's one of the key scorers on their team. Flau'jae is more of like a defensive player. She's a scorer, but not like a shooter. Then also Nisa Mora, she's one of those Angel Reese types. She can rebound a lot and she can defend better than Angel Reese, I believe. But she can't rebound better than Angel Reese, but her defense is better and she's offensively more aggressive. Once she gets the rebound, she's looking to put the shot back up and she's looking to score. And I think her post moves are better. Now she just needs to work on her scoring ability a little bit more. But other than that, she has the whole package. I mean, she doesn't have to shoot up for jumpers or anything like that, playing the 4 position, but she does need to improve the post game a little bit more. But I think that'll come with time. But her ability to grab rebounds and get double doubles, like I said, it's amazing that 2 players from the same school, and Angel Reese and Anissa Morrow, have been able to emulate one another, so to speak, to be able to have that greatness and give their teams great rebounding and some post play as well. But Flau'jae, like I said, she struggled a little bit, but she did make those important plays and some key shots. And LSU was a little bit undersized, especially at the guard positions. A lot of their guards are smaller compared to most of these other teams, especially when it comes to Oklahoma. Oklahoma had a player, Peyton Verhulst, who was actually from DeSoto, Kansas, not too far from where I am. He was very physical as well, coming off screens, shooting threes like Steph Curry or somebody. She did pretty good the other night as well, just being able to shoot off of screens and just the ability just to be a per scorer. And it posed threats or problems for LSU the whole night. Now, teams that play Oklahoma going into this conference tournament and the NCAA tournament, if they make the tournament, which I believe they will, you will probably have to change your style when you play Oklahoma because you're gonna have to get physical. They're gonna get all into your space. They're gonna make you very uncomfortable. And if you're a finesse team, it could pose problems for you. Now, some of the better teams like UCLA, they're more physical. Um, USC can be physical in some ways, but they're a little bit more finesse on the LSU side. Now, South Carolina, on the other hand, is physical. Their coach, Don Staley, is going to have them be physical. She was a tough player as well, so they take on the personality of their coach in that way. And also, LSU, I think, was able to be chameleons and change their style uh, just for the simple fact of Kim Mulkey. She was tough as a player and she's tough as a coach. So she's able to coach her players up to tell them, hey, we need to change up. We need to get physical with these women, and we need to match energy because the way we're playing it or playing the other teams is not cookie cutter. We have to adjust and be able to play different styles. And they were able to do that to their fortune. But I think Oklahoma is a good team, but they had a lot of sloppy play with their 23 turnovers. LSU had 13 of their own, but they were minus 10 in the turnover department, which is going to get you beat most of the times. In Oklahoma, they did lose 41 points to South Carolina. Like I said, South Carolina is physical, can get physical. They can switch styles up. Like I said, they got a very good coach in Don Staley, and they're able to be a chameleon in that way. But Oklahoma does have key wins against Michigan, Tennessee, and Louisville, but they do have close losses against Texas and an overtime loss to Duke. So Oklahoma is going to be a problem. You're going to have to deal with Oklahoma. You definitely have to deal with LSU, South Carolina, UCLA, USC, Ohio State. All of these different teams are going to be posed a threat. And once again, I think the NCAA women's tournament is going to be a lot better than the men's tournament. I haven't watched a quarter of a men's game this year. The women's games is just so much competitive and so much entertainment. So, well, thanks for tuning in, and until next time, I'll see you next time.